Alright guys, welcome to my channel. This is Pinchtune Danny. I do not normally do unboxings, mainly because I get a product and I quickly open it and next thing you know I'm like, oh, I probably should have done an unboxing. So usually you get to see stuff after I already played with it. Today, however, I'm very excited about what I have here in this box. And the reason being is I've been waiting for it to arrive from China for about 3 weeks, almost a month. I actually took a gamble here because I ordered it from Banggood. This is a product that RDQ was also pre-ordering, so I was like, who might be faster? I took a gamble. Turns out they were almost around the same time. The people that ordered from RDQ, Raise Day Quads, already got theirs, but it was maybe like a 1 or 2 day difference. So mine really arrived maybe like 2 days later. So it was a good gamble, and I think it turned out okay. It's not a surprise. These are goggles. I might have mentioned it here and there on my Instagram, maybe on another YouTube video that I've done, that I was doing something about goggles. So this is it. It's no surprise. These are the new Skyzones. And unfortunately, everybody's done the reviews already. My channel is a little bit small. If you guys start shipping me stuff early, although I paid for this one, and you know, I ordered it, paid for it myself, but if I start getting stuff earlier, I might be able to get you guys videos earlier. But already most of the major reviewers already did a review on this. Regardless, I'm gonna offer you my own take on it. This is gonna be my first impression first, and then whether it's in a later part of this video or on a follow-up video, I'll give you my actual flight experiences with it. So right now it's gonna be mainly a first impression. I think a lot of people are giving first impression videos, so I really want to follow up on it later so that you really get a good sense of how I feel about them. Like I said, I paid for these. They were not shipped to me as a review item for free. So I basically can and will say whatever I need to say about them. Yes, they will be pitted against the HDOs, which is what I've been flying for the last year and a half-ish, year and 3 or 4 months. So that is going to be the main competitor of this goggle, because this is also an OLED goggle. I'm sure you guys have seen all the videos from everybody else already. If not, thank you for supporting me and being the first guy you see these from. But the reason I ordered this is because I do feel from research, watching other people's videos and just researching the product, that it is a better product than the Fat Shark HDO. I am, by the way, most likely not jumping ship, but jumping on the whole DJI bandwagon. It doesn't mean I'm going to leave analog. I am definitely not. I've been flying with guys that are flying both for certain reasons. I've also been flying with guys that do not want to fly analog anymore after flying DJI. But I believe these goggles will extend the life of analog for me. Not only that, I have a bunch of quads already that I need to fly through. They will not fit DJI. Not to mention I'm not going to buy air units for all of them. So most likely I am going to jump on the whole DJI thing and build 1 or 2 quads with their air units while I'll still fly analog as well. I have flown the DJI system. I love it. I thought it was awesome. It really impressed me. I flew a newbie drone system flown by Levi. He built it and been testing it. That's the one I flew, Levi Leviathan. And I am super impressed. But like I said, I think I'll be running both systems for quite a while, not just one. Even though some guys are like, I don't want to fly analog anymore. Anyway, let me not get bogged down on subtopics or getting on tangents. Let's go and focus on the Skyzone SKY03O OLED goggles. Alright, here we are. I admit I wish I had a better tripod for this sort of thing so I wouldn't have to reach around the camera, but I don't. So until I can set up something that goes overhead, this is what we have. Hopefully it isn't a problem to look around and for me to reach around it. Okay. Pretty nice packaging. I mean, these FPV products often don't have the most exciting packaging compared to an iPhone or something of sorts. But regardless, this is a nice heavy box. We have the manual. Oh, look at that. Actually, this is very Apple-ish. It's got, well, apart from the fact that it's not so easy to get out. But anyway, we're just going to tilt it like this. But it's got individual boxes inside, which makes it look like they really put an effort into the packaging. It's pretty nice. Yeah, okay. So we got accessories back here. I think we need to go a little bit brighter. Possibly. Let's try that. Alright. I think that will do the trick. Okay. So these are the accessories. And I know what comes in these. Quite honestly, these are not individually wrapped, which is interesting, but at least the presentation is kind of nice. One thing I would like to point out, though, is like you have something that's so well done in terms of packaging. By the way, I design for a living, so packaging is just one of the things I design, but I can definitely have some critique because I have the experience. Everything that goes on says something, sends a message. So this is all great, but then you see these antennas, and I understand why they provide them. They at least provide something, but this is a high-end goggle. I think it should not even come with antennas, just because nobody ever used these, and it sends a message like these are crappy antennas. Don't include these. I mean, I gotta admit though, these feel better than a lot of the whip antennas that we get with other stuff, but they still should not be here, because anybody that's going to buy a goggle like this at this price point is going to either buy their own antennas or already has a collection of antennas. So these just send the wrong message. This is fine for entry level, not for a high-end product. But anyway, these guys are definitely showing a pretty good effort in terms of packaging. This is one of the cables that I don't know what it's for. It's yeah, I probably should know this, but I don't. Then we have audio-video cable with an input that goes into the goggles. And these are the ones that I really am concerned about, which is the power cable that can be used up to 6S for the goggles. And then this is actually a lot like this one, only is a 3.5mm plug. So I would have to look at the manual to find out what these are for. I'm not sure anybody's concerned about that anyway. By the way, you can use a battery on the goggle strap. But it's also nice that you can use this and put it in your pocket if that's what you prefer. No regulator needed. There's some guys that have made some nice regulators for the Fat Shark goggles that only take up to, I think, 2S. But for these, you get the whole voltage range from 2 to 6S. Alright, so we have a case that is oddly familiar to the HDO case. Really, it's not exactly the same, but it feels very similar. Everybody points out this case, oh, it comes with a nice case. But nobody ever says, oh, it's a lot like the HDO case, which it really is a lot like it in a way. Let's go ahead and get these out. These are the red ones. At least those are the ones I ordered. And here we go. Okay, we have extra foam plates or foam pads because there's two different face plates for flat faces or round faces. And then, of course, in here we have Velcro for either of the face plates. Keep in mind that from what I've read or heard or videos I've watched, they're different Velcro stickers for the different foam pads to the different face plates. So you can't, or you're not supposed to interchange them, otherwise they won't fit right. Let's set this aside so we can have less distractions in the video here. There you go. And we'll go ahead and open up the plastic here for the goggles. Sorry about that mess back there. Okay. Alright, here's a little hole. We're going to go ahead and tear into this one. Actually, you know what? We'll go a little bit more refined and carefully cut that plastic. There we go. Alrighty. I was concerned about the finish because everybody praises the colors, which is great, but every time I look at the videos, I'm always like, the color's great, but the finish kind of like doesn't look that good. But I always thought it's probably just in the video that the video doesn't do it justice. I will tell you right now if that is true or not. Looking at it carefully, there's a bit of a flaw there in the finish, some black, as you can see there. So it's not stellar, the paint job. I'll have to put a sticker there or something, but overall, there is no real, what is it, orange peel effect to the paint, so that's nice. The fit and finish is not bad, it's pretty good. Let me get a pointer here. Red driver for red goggles. I never really liked this seam, and I still don't like it in person. But it's not something that's really putting me off. There's no gap. The fit and finish is fine. It's just I'm not really a big fan of that seam, the way the way you can see it. I think in a way the Fat Sharks are nicer in that end. But everything else, this fan plate is super nice. Again, not so sure about Batman there, even though that's obviously not a Batman logo or something else. But it's aluminum, which is kind of nice. Definitely classy. The buttons feel nice and tactile. It's got a power button, no surprise there from Skyzone. And then all the connections are at the bottom. I'm actually really excited to use this card slot because I'm tired of trying to get the card out of the location where it is on my Fat Sharks. I will likely, I don't complain about the whole diversity thing because I use Clearview for 90% of my flying. I do have a rapid fire module, but I personally believe that Clearview is better. And I'm not talking about the Clearview module, I'm talking about the Clearview brick. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't want to haul around a ground station. Well, I don't use it as a ground station. I attach it to my transmitter at the back and then run a wire from there to my goggles. So for me, in my opinion, that is not a ground station, or maybe it's a ground station hybrid. So that's what I'll normally use for this. And because I feel that my Clearview brick is just better than rapid fire for several reasons, I don't ever get the picture rolling. I don't lose lock once I have lock. So overall, I feel it's better. So connecting those to these goggles is what I'm doing anyway. So I'm not too concerned about rapid fire. If Skyzone comes up with the attachment they're supposed to put on these to be able to fit rapid fire to it, I might get it since I already have a module. But I'm not concerned about it at all. Yeah, the color is nice. I'm actually stoked I got these red ones. I wish it didn't have that flaw right there, but again, it's not like I'm gonna return them just for that little thing, as long as they work well. And I'm a red kind of, it's like my favorite color is red, so a bunch of things that I do are just red. Just ask how many red cars I've had. Okay, here's the other faceplate. This is obviously the flatter one, because the more curved one, see how it has a little bit of a ledge there? That is meant to push it in a little bit more. I'm gonna assume that this is the one I'll need. And I'll leave it on and try that one. If it doesn't fit, I'll use that one, but most likely it's gonna be this. Okay, something very important to me is the Ipd adjustments. Oh, they feel nice. They feel a lot more tactile than I expected. So here's the deal. I use Fat Sharks. I have been using Fat Sharks, but I have not been able to use any of the HD1, HD2, or HD3s. HD3s barely, really, because I cannot focus. I need a more inner Ipd adjustment. If you go and look at some of my other reviews, I'll put them down in the description for the HDO and HDO follow-up. You'll see where I really point out the whole issue about the IPDs. And the reason for that is because for me, it's a big issue. The HDOs work for me, but barely. They're all pushed all the way in. And honestly, if I could get 1 more millimeter, they would focus a lot better for me. If they shift at all, I lose focus. So for me, 1 more would be better. But these apparently have 2 more millimeters inward adjustment, which that combined with a slightly smaller screen than the HDOs, I'm sure I'll get like a super sharp image on this. No problem. I'll let you know in the follow-up video. Nice and wide strap. I just recently got an ethics strap, which I'll likely put on this. It'll look really good because it's tan with red will look really good. Check out the video description because there is a link to that video there. And looking inside at the optics, I see it's got those little covers. I've heard people say that the optics are supposedly not as good as on the HDOs, mainly the lens behind the screen, but the screens are way better. And I can't wait to try them out and see how I feel about them. So I think that's good for an overall impression. So far as overall impression, I am happy. I like what I'm seeing. Now it's just a matter of seeing how I actually feel about them in use. And then I will follow up with another video with an actual full review on how I feel about them. Yeah, until next time, just go ahead and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Check out the links in the description because there's a lot more relevant content based on this and other FPV topics. I'll see you in the next one, guys.